Hi, and welcome back to my garden. I feel like it is time to get rid of these pepper plants that I have in here. They are actually looking really good considering the time of year that it is. But I need these garden beds for other things. And so what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to take some of these nicer peppers that I have growing here and I am going to overwinter them. Now, I will show you in just a second, but I have two pepper plants that I've overwintered from last garden season. They didn't do great, but they didn't do bad. So I am going to try and overwinter those again just to see if I can get a second season out of them. If not, it's not a big deal. The point of overwintering your peppers is to kind of get an early start on your pepper yield. So that is what I'm going to do. There are many different ways of doing this. I'm not saying my way is right or wrong, but this is just how I'm going to do it. And what I'm doing is I am going to take some garden compost that I have in my yard, and I'm just going to fill up these. These are 1 gallon buckets. I have like a 2 gallon, I believe, and maybe a 3 gallon. But I'm just going to put about halfway full of this garden dirt that I have from my garden. I'm going to get these filled up, and then I'm going to start removing these pepper plants. Okay, now that that is done, I am going to, I think I'm going to come in here and just cut off this fruit because it's just, I don't think it's going to do much. And again, another thing that I'm not going to do that a lot of people might do would be to come in and just get rid of all of the leaves on your plant. Again, I'm not doing that. This is a Sugar Rush Peach. This is a good one here. Right there, Sugar Rush Peach pepper. And I will probably just top it like that because there are flowers growing right there. But for the most part, I am just going to leave it like that. And I'm going to put one of this in one of my smaller pots. But I'm just going to come in and just kind of break up those roots and pull out the plant. And again, a lot of people will clean that off, but I'm just going right in there. And then I'm going to make sure to keep the tag. So I think I'm only going to keep 2 of these, which will be this one and this bigger one here, and then this other one I'm just going to pull. And I'll come back and cut off some of those fruits. This right here is my habanero pepper, and you can see just how prolific this thing has gotten. Now, it took a while for this thing to even get this far. I think I've pulled 5 or 6 peppers off of this plant since they started turning colors. And there are a lot of green ones on here, but there are also a lot of orange ones. And because this one is so big, and you can tell the leaves are kind of changing color and it's time to do something with this. But this is gonna go in my big pot over here. And I, again, will come through and get rid of most of these fruits. I'm going to try and hopefully find something to do with them. But I think I will leave most of the leaves on here and just see how it does. And because I am sort of stressing this plant out by pulling it out of the ground, There's going to be some dieback on it, which is totally expected, which I'm not worried about. Now these two plants right here are the peppers that I overwintered from last spring's garden, and I don't want both of them, but I also think that they're two different things. I think this is a jalapeno, and I think this is maybe cayenne. I'm not really 100% sure because I lost the labels somewhere along the way. So I don't know which one of these I want to keep though. I mean, I guess I can keep both of them. I'll put one of them in the smaller pot and then one of them in a bigger pot. And these ones I will just get rid of all of these gross peppers. Not very much root structure there, but they are alive, which is funny. There's this one. Now the rest of these peppers that I have in here are just jalapeno peppers. So I have one more pot. So I will save one of those. I think I will keep this jalapeno just because it looks better than the other one. So I'm gonna just do the same thing over here. Just come in, break up that root ball. And pull it out. Okay, now that that is done, I am just going to add some more soil to these pots, and then I will thoroughly water them just to kind of compact that soil. Before I do that, I am just going to come through here and just get rid of the rest of these peppers. All right, now that that's done, I am just going to remove any of these lower leaves here. And then I'm just going to fill up the rest of the way these peppers. And while I'm at it, I'm going to remove any fruit. Now I had this one labeled as, oh no, this was jalapeno. I thought it was a poblano, but it just never grew like a poblano, more like a jalapeno, but I have it labeled as a jalapeno. And I'm going to remove all these little babies also. All right. Just like that, I'm going to move on to the next one. And I think with this one, I am just going to come in and start just getting some of this stuff out of the way, just so that when I backfill, it wouldn't be a problem. And I need these habaneros, and now I need to find something to do with them. I have made a habanero, jalapeno, sugar rush peach pepper salsa, hot sauce. That was really good. So I may do that again, or I'm not really sure, but I would like to find something to do with them because I don't want them to go to waste. I can't believe how many peppers are on this plant. This is insane. Okay, so I have my habanero, 2 sugar rush peach, jalapeno, and maybe a cayenne or something back there. So that is 6 total of these pepper plants that I am going to try and overwinter. And then these are all habaneros. Now, the orange ones I'm going to save. The green ones I am not going to save. But yeah, I cannot even believe that. And this has just started. Like this plant, that habanero plant, just started actually producing. But it is quite damn near December and I need the space. So I figured now's the time to just get those into the greenhouse to see if I can overwinter them and plant them again next year. I do have the 2 that are going to be going on to their 2nd season, which is kind of exciting. Or would it be their 3rd season? Because I grew them not last year. I planted them back into the garden this year. So they'll be going back into the garden for the 3rd time, 2026. But that is it for me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in my garden, and I will see you next time. Bye.